First and foremost, I want to give a shout out, as always, to the Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ, Lord of my life. Shout out to you, too, for another opportunity to share. I'm good at work, y'all. This is what I do. Anyway, see, I just got, my hair grew back. Got to get ready to call it summertime. Oh, huh? That's my co-worker. That's Mr. Coffee. You're a good brother. Look, this, if you're looking for a house, it's Mr. Coffee. He'll help you get a house. Good brother. 65. You heard? Anyway, I want to talk to you guys today real briefly about anger. Anger could be a very, anger could be a very, very dangerous sin. And it can really mess up your life. You know, I was glancing over the situation. This is deep, y'all. I was glancing over the situation with Cain and God, the Father. Now, Cain got jealous over his little brother Abel, right? We know the story. But just to give y'all a heads up, God actually had a conversation with Cain. And you know people like to blame the devil. Yo, the devil made me do this. Ain't the devil made you do a goddamn thing. You did it yourself. You know what I'm saying? The word talks about if you know the good you ought to do, James 4:16, and you don't do it, it's sin. Right? 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation that sees you except what is common to man, but God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear, but when tempted, he will provide a way out. Right? James chapter 1. I forgot the verse off top, forgive me. But it says, when tempted, no one should say God is tempting you, because God cannot be tempted by evil. Each one is tempted by his own evil desire, not the devil, his own evil desire. He's dragged away and enticed, and after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it's full grown, gives birth to death. So I'm glancing at the story with, you know, Cain and God is telling Cain, like, yo, man, why you angry? Why you so upset? Why you discouraged? Why you downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you don't do what is right, he didn't say the devil's crouching at your door. He said sin is crouching at your door. Shout out to the honorable one. You know, rest in peace to him. Hopefully I get to be in heaven. Lord willing, get to see the good brother again. You know, and he taught about this years ago, about the devil is just an advocate to sin. He's not the author of it. He just became a slave to it. Remember, he was Lucifer, and he became the devil. He was an angel at first, then he became what he is now. Not to highlight him, just using that as an example. So Cain, because God tried to encourage him and told him to do the right thing, and he already was jealous over his brother. He was already discouraged. He was frustrated. God, he warned him. And then you know what, Cain got an attitude with God. He said, he totally disregarded what God told him, and he went away. He totally ignored it. He went away and he killed his brother, his little brother. And then God knew he did it, but once again, for us as the readers that follow along the story, God went up to him just to see if he was going to be honest. He lied to God. Second sin he did, right? God asked him, where's your brother Abel? And then he gave God an attitude. He said, where's my brother Abel? Am I my brother's keeper? Gave God an attitude. And God was like, well, your brother blood cries out to me. He killed his brother and he gave God an attitude, right? And then God banished him. And God told him. And then, you know what? Now he want to cop the plea. Oh, you know, the burden. God cast him away from his presence because of what he did to his brother. But God was so merciful and gracious. He cast him away, but he still put a hedge of protection on him, because he cast them out of the garden. And he cast them out of where they was at the time, and he sent them off to the land of Nod, which means he was just wandering until he found a land. And he said, anyone who finds him will kill him. So when people like to say Adam and Eve was the first, they weren't the first. There was other people, if you read the word, that was before Adam and Eve. Most believers, teachers, they're not going to tell you that and everything. Adam and Eve was the first human beings that God formed, but he wasn't the first that was created. In the beginning, he said he created male and female. He created them. Then when it came down to Adam, God specifically formed him from dust. When it came down to Eve, God specifically formed her from Adam's rib. So obviously there were other human beings before them. Because then who is Cain talking about? So if you ask anybody in the churches, they can't answer that. Well, I'm giving you the answer. There was other human beings before them. Their names, I don't know. These were human beings that were just spoken into existence. Right? Cain, whatever, regardless, he was scared. And God put a seal to protect him from other human beings, animals and all. Anyone who sees him will kill him. Instead of being afraid of not being with God for eternity, he was more afraid of getting killed, even though he became a killer. But the point of the matter is this, right? Because he let anger take over him, his anger let him do something that he didn't even regret. He had a hatred towards his brother because he was so selfish and so jealous.
Can you hear me?
He didn't even regret killing his brother. Only thing he was worried about was his brother, was somebody now killing him. He didn't even care that he wasn't going to be in God's presence anymore. I got to take this, y'all. Hold on one second. Hold on. What floor you talking about, Mercy? Second?
Yes.
Huh? What kind of smoke? On the second floor? I'm coming up. So because of Cain, I gotta take care of this stuff on the floor, y'all. Because of the situation with Cain, Cain didn't care about what he did to his brother. He didn't even care about not being in God's presence anymore. Only thing that coward cared about, coward at the end of the day, because he killed his little brother. The only thing he cared about somebody killing him. Why? Because sin took over and mastered him. He became angry, and he became angry. And another thing what happened to him is that he became a liar, and he became disrespectful. He became all that stuff in one. Because you saw how he was with God. So, I gotta check this floor, y'all. Anyway. In the elevator, I smell it. I don't smell it. No, I don't smell it on the floor. Yeah, I smell an elevator. I don't know if it's a wire or whatever. Hey, Mr. What's his name again? Mr. Coffee, hit the elevator for me. So the point of the matter is, y'all, we cannot let anger, do not let anger take over you. It's okay to have a righteous indignation, but to have a rage is dangerous. Because Cain was downcast, he got frustrated, sin took over him. And because of that, what happened to him? Worst thing happened. He got banished, and then he probably's not even in heaven. Mr. Coffee, press the elevator. So brothers and sisters, please, especially us as black people, we get angry. We like to face fight with one another. We like to grill one another. Everything. We got to stop that foolishness, y'all. We got to learn how to conflict resolution. Like my man Charleston White was saying, gotta have a better way to resolve issues with one another instead of always wanting to hurt one another. You know what I'm saying? We cannot allow sin to master us, because look at what the end of results. Cain, because of what he did, he started a bloodline. Resulted, all his family was cursed. A generational curse started with him. Why? Because he let sin take over him. Stop blaming the devil for your ills and defects. It's you. You are the problem. You work on you before you be quick to blame shift your circumstance, the devil, or whatever. Master the sin that's trying to take over your life. Jesus bless. Peace.